Hi guys, my name is Leonel Bustillos, and when it comes to diseases, we all want to prevent them all, of course. But we must consider the most major diseases such as lung cancer, heart disease, HIV, and many more. We must need to consider many researchers have focused upon all these diseases, but there's one disease not most people even acknowledge, and that's ADHD. And you must be considering, what is ADHD? Well, in the CDC states that ADHD is the most common neutral developmental disorder of childhood. And children with ADHD might have trouble paying attention, controlling impulse behaviors, which might cause them to act without thinking and what results may be, or just overly active. We must consider that ADHD can be diagnosed to us when we are children and can last to childhood, up to adulthood. My bad. And that's the thing. As you could clearly tell, this disease is mostly common for children and teenagers. That's why I want to change that and want to focus on ADHD at a young age before it's too late and we become of age. And people who have children already know how much of a hassle it is for them to have their kids and make them focus. But with ADHD, it prevents them from growing out of these behaviors. It must consider that these symptoms can continue and have severe consequences. And you must wondering, what are consequences? Like, what symptoms are there even with ADHD? Well, when it comes to the symptoms, there are many which are daydreaming, forget or lose things, or talk too much, careless mistakes, or much more. The only reason I bring up ADHD is because it's such a big problem and it's such a common thing at this point. According to the CDC, the estimate number of children ever diagnosed with ADHD, according to the National 2016 Parent Survey, is 6.1 million, which is 9.4%. And that's from the ages 2 to 17, which is a big percentage, if I say so myself. And when it comes to having children, they always seem to be the disobedient child who doesn't have self-respect. But that's the problem. We don't realize the true meaning in which what ADHD has, and we must normalize it, because to be true, we're not aware of it at all. For example, when it comes being in school and the children has ADHD, it's going to be very hard for them to keep still or be calm or stay focused in general. When it happens, the teacher comes and punishes them for the children for their actions. But they don't realize that these children have a disease that can't be controlled. And we must rely on ourselves for we could support them, the teachers themselves support the children and help them through it. And help them cope with it. And that's how this goes same for the parents. As well, they constantly punish their children for misbehaving, but instead they should go and talk to a professional for coping mechanisms for they can overcome ADHD. As we could clearly tell that these affects children, we mostly need to focus that parents and teachers in everyday basis around child around them, they must find solutions for they could help our children in need. Not only does this go just for the teachers, but this goes for professionals, because the professionals who have done research have only found 2 ways of mechanism for they could cope with ADHD, and it's therapy and medication. A kid at a young age should not be taking medication, and also a kid at a young age going to therapy won't even remember or pay attention what's going on. For me personally, I wouldn't do it. And for me, I have ADHD. You can see me moving around with my hands a lot. It's like I can't keep still. But I have it more toned down and more better. And my friends would always call me out on my ADHD for always moving around too much, constantly procrastinating. Well, everybody does. And talking a lot and not being focused. I really do try my best when it comes to school and try to focus, but I wander off and forget what I was learning or writing. As I'm writing my assignments, I also just wander off and just do whatever I am, but I'm not focusing on what I need to be doing. And I also have this thing where for always any situation, I'm always shaking my leg. I don't know why, but it's just a thing and a habit that I have till this day since I was a kid. I have my ways of focusing, which I try to listen to music, and well, I keep on shaking my leg constantly. I have realized though, once I got more older, I overcome my ADHD little by little. But it is not as worse when I was a young kid. In general, ADHD is just a thing that goes through all of us, and it hurts because the thing is, not many people realize that we should consider this a normal thing. And of course, whenever you're thinking ADHD, this is going to be the grand example of ADHD. All your thoughts everywhere, it's just all over the place, and you just don't know how to cope with everything. You're going to be thinking of this, you're going to be thinking of that, but see, that's the thing, you can't simply focus on anything. And of course, us in school, we'd always like mess with our pencils, be wandering off somewhere else. But in general, the reason I want to talk about ADHD is that we must consider it a major thing, major disease, and make it be normal. We must normalize this. We must get our supports from all the teachers, our parents, professionals, and help their children in need on a journey to overcome ADHD. And of course, therapy and medication might be the way for everybody, but it's not for everybody for financial wise. But I hope we keep on finding research, finding new methods, new ways to cope with this ADHD disease.